The silent ship void of space was quiet, too quiet for Captain Rourke's liking. His salvage ship, the Iron Star, drifted slowly toward a massive alien vessel hanging in the dark. The alien ship was unlike anything they had seen before. Long, black, with strange curves and markings that shimmered faintly even without light. The distress beacon was weak, almost a whisper in the endless emptiness. It had been broadcasting for 3 days, without a single response from its crew. That alone was strange. But what truly unsettled Rourke was that the beacon carried no message, just the constant hollow tone. The crew of the Iron Star moved quietly through the cockpit. No one made jokes. No one spoke more than a few words. Salvage work could be dangerous. But this felt different. It felt wrong. As they came closer, the alien ship's details grew sharper. It had no running lights, no heat signatures, no movement. The scanners showed life signs for a moment, then flickered and went blank. "Dock us," Rourke ordered. His voice was low but firm. The magnetic clamps connected to the alien hull with a dull thud. The sound echoed through the Iron Star like a heartbeat. Rourke and 3 crew members suited up, their helmets sealing with a hiss. The airlock opened with a groan, revealing the alien ship's dark interior. Their helmet lamps cut through the blackness. Dust floated in the air. Not ordinary dust, but fine, shimmering particles that glowed faintly when the light touched them. The corridors were wide, the walls made of a material that looked almost organic. They moved slowly, their boots clanking against the metal floor. Every few meters, they passed strange alien symbols carved into the walls. Some looked fresh, as if someone had scratched them in a hurry. The first body they found was slumped against a wall. Its skin was pale blue, its eyes wide open, frozen in a look of terror. The alien's hands were stiff, fingers curled as if trying to grab something. Rourke bent closer. The alien had deep scratches on its arms, as if it had been clawing at itself. "Dead for at least a week," murmured Jenkins, the medic, but no sign of decay. They left the body and moved deeper into the ship. The silence pressed down on them. Only their breathing and the faint hum of their suits broke the stillness. In what looked like a control room, they found more signs of chaos: overturned chairs, shattered screens, strange black stains on the floor. One console flickered weakly, showing a looping security feed. The images were broken, but Rourke could see shapes moving, fast, blurred, not quite right. The crew exchanged uneasy glances. Whatever had happened here was not over. They reached the medbay next. The door was half open, one hinge broken. Inside, more alien bodies lay strapped to tables. Their chests were still, but their fingers twitched slightly. "Did you see that?" whispered Marta, the engineer. Before anyone could answer, one of the bodies shifted. Its head turned slowly toward them. The eyes were clouded, the mouth opening in a silent gasp. The thing sat up with a jerky motion. Its body moved like it was being pulled by invisible strings. Rourke raised his weapon. "Don't move," he said. Even though he knew it wouldn't understand, the alien slid off the table. Its movements wrong. Its limbs bent at strange angles. More bodies began to stir on the other tables, one by one. They sat up, all moving in the same unnatural rhythm. Rourke backed toward the door. "Fall back," he ordered. His crew didn't need telling twice. They pulled the door shut, sealing it with a manual lock. But even as they stepped away, they could hear it, the sound of hands pounding against the metal from the other side. Slow and steady, the Iron Star's crew had come looking for a dead ship. But the dead were not staying dead. The dead Rissith pounding on the medbay door grew louder. Echoing through the alien ship's empty corridors, Captain Rourke signaled his crew to keep moving. Their footsteps quick but careful. They didn't know how many of those things were on board, and they didn't want to find out all at once. The narrow passage ahead opened into a cargo bay. towering with strange alien containers stacked like giant black teeth. The air felt heavier here, thick with the same faintly glowing dust they had seen earlier. Jenkins. Scan it, Rourke ordered. The medic checked his handheld device. The screen flickered. Static danced across the display. Whatever this stuff is. It's alive, he said. Microscopic movement, millions of tiny organisms. Before they could respond, a sound drifted through the cargo bay. A scraping, dragging noise, slow and uneven. Rourke signaled for lights, and beams cut across the shadows. An alien corpse stumbled into view. Its pale skin stretched tight over sharp bones. It turned its cloudy eyes toward them, opening its mouth in a soundless scream. Then another appeared. Then 3 more. Their movements were stiff, jerky, like marionettes pulled by invisible strings. They're not alive, Marta whispered. Something's inside them. The first one lunged. Moving faster than expected, Rourke fired, the pulse shot slamming into its chest. The alien fell back, but didn't stay down. It twitched, then began to rise again. Headshots, Jenkins shouted, firing again. They shattered the skull, and the body went still. This time it didn't move. From the shadows, more of them came. Their bodies torn and broken, but still walking. The glowing dust in the air seemed thicker now, swirling around the corpses like smoke. Rourke's mind raced. The dust, he said. It's controlling them. They retreated into a side corridor, sealing the bulkhead door behind them. Jenkins tried to access the alien ship's logs from a wall terminal. The screen lit up with alien script and fragmented video. The images showed a research team in hazmat suits working with samples of the glowing dust. Then the footage changed. Chaos in the halls, aliens running, some already infected. One clip froze on an alien scientist's terrified face as something black and fast crawled across the walls toward him. Then the feed went dead. This isn't just a disease, Jenkins said. It's a parasite. It reanimates the host and uses their body to spread itself. Rourke clenched his jaw. And now we're stuck in here with it. The crew pressed deeper into the ship, hoping to find the control room. If they could activate the ship's engines or emergency systems, they might escape. But the further they went, the more signs of the parasite they saw. Black, vein-like growths spreading along the walls. Doors fused shut with hard alien resin. At one junction, they found a group of infected aliens frozen in place, their bodies tangled together like roots. The glowing dust drifted around them, and Rourke could feel it brushing against his visor. Suddenly, one of them moved, snapping its head toward them with unnatural speed. The mass of corpses began to break apart, each one moving toward them. Run, Rourke barked. They sprinted down the corridor, pulse shots echoing behind them. Marta tossed an incendiary charge. The blast filled the hall with fire, slowing the infected. But the black dust swirled above the flames, almost alive. When they finally reached the control room, the door was locked. Rourke slammed his fist against the panel. Override it. Jenkins worked frantically, but before the lock could open, a metallic screech echoed down the hall. The sound was wrong. Not footsteps, but something crawling on the walls and ceiling. The last thing they saw before the corridor. Lights flickered was a shape moving toward them. Not a corpse this time, but something faster, leaner, and very much aware. Humanity's last stand thing in the corridor moved like liquid shadow, crawling across the walls and ceiling with inhuman speed. Captain Rourke's pulse quickened as his crew aimed their weapons. The moment their lights hit it, the creature dropped to the floor, landing in a crouch. It wasn't like the reanimated corpses they had seen before. This one was alive, or at least, alive in a different way. Its long limbs were covered in black, chitin-like armor, and its face was hidden behind a mask of shifting parasite matter. The red glow in its eyes burned like coals. The creature lunged. Rourke fired, the shot hitting its shoulder. But it didn't slow down. It slammed into Jenkins, throwing him against the wall. Marta screamed and fired point blank. The thing staggered, but black tendrils shot from its body. Wrapping around her weapon and tearing it away, Rourke pulled Marta back, firing again. The creature hissed, retreating into the darkness, but they all knew it wasn't gone. It was hunting them. Jenkins staggered to his feet, blood running down his visor. "We can't stay here," he gasped. "We need to end this ship before it reaches anyone." Rourke nodded. The parasite wasn't just controlling bodies. It was learning. It was evolving. If it got off this ship, no one would be safe. They made their way to the reactor core. Moving through halls that groaned under the parasite's spread, black veins covered the walls. Pulsing slowly, the air was thick with the glowing dust. Their visors were the only thing keeping it out. When they reached the core, the massive chamber was already half covered in alien growth. Tendrils wrapped around the machinery, feeding the parasite's infection deeper into the ship. Rourke opened the control panel, setting the self-destruct sequence. A timer appeared, 10 minutes until detonation. The sound came again. That metallic screech. This time it came from all directions, from the shadows above and behind. Infected aliens emerged, their twisted bodies lurching forward. At the center of them was the hunter creature. Its red eyes locked on Rourke. "Marta, Jenkins, get to the escape pod," Rourke ordered. "That's an order." They hesitated, but the look in his eyes told them he wasn't coming. Marta's voice broke. "Captain, go." He barked. They ran, their footsteps fading into the corridors. Rourke turned back to the reactor, drawing his last charge pack. The infected rushed him, but he fired into the growths on the walls, flames ripping through the parasite flesh. The hunter leapt toward him, and Rourke met it head-on. They crashed to the floor, the creature's claws slashing at his armor. Rourke jammed the charge into its chest and fired. The blast tore it apart, black parasite matter scattering into the air. The timer on the reactor hit 30 seconds. Rourke smiled grimly, pressing his hand against the controls to lock the sequence. "Not today," he muttered, far away. Marta and Jenkins strapped into the pod. The ship shook violently as the engines of destruction roared to life. Through the small viewport, they saw the alien vessel erupt in a massive flash of light. Pieces of metal and black dust scattered into the void. Silence returned to space. The escape pod drifted quietly. Marta closed her eyes, tears mixing with the sweat on her face. Jenkins sat in silence, his mind heavy with the loss. Neither of them saw the tiny black speck clinging to the outer hull of the pod. Its tendrils curled slowly, almost like it was waiting. "If you want, I can now merge all 3 parts."